Hey, how's it going, you guys? Welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to another Locals. This time, a little bit weirder than normal because I decided I wanted to test something fun over the next few weekends. So, this is going to be very fascinating. Apologies for the camera. I did not realize for the first recording it did this. We did fix it for the rest. But unfortunately for the first recording, you're going to have to deal with this black bar of the recording just below it. So here we're going to have round one of last week's Locals. You got me on the right piloting my red-purple hybrid deck. So let's see how this goes. And on the left, you're going to have Ian playing what I like to lovingly refer to as his jank master bond list, but whatever. So you see here, I started it up, I hatched the Yarmon, and I played a Flamemon, taking a search, whiffing the search, but it's fine. You probably also then saw the plugins that I'm running as well, because plugins are just generically good support. Ian hatched did Gazi, and then dropped a TK to fetch something out of his security. Here on my turn, I'm just going to Digivolve into a Goonie and swing, because this entire deck just really works on damage, like just pure damage. I do hit into the Chaos Degrade, but it's perfectly fine. The basic concept of this deck is using the Takuya and Emperor Greymon. So the Takuya has an ability that allows you to attach 5 hybrids, any hybrids that you want, does it irrespective of color, underneath the Takuya in order to warp Digivolve into the Emperor Greymon, which is fantastic. So the deck is basically another version of Advanced Rookie Rush, kind of like Armor. So yeah, we're just gonna keep pelting. The reason I've gone for this purple version is to make use of mills and card draws, as well as the awesome destruction card of, and I apologize to any people who know German that watch this, Schwarz Leisarts. It basically, for every tamer and hybrid you have on the field, delete a level 5 or lower in your opponent's field, which is really good. You saw Ian there hit 1 in security earlier, which is really good. So here you're going to see me going for the Digivolution plugin. This is an illegal play. I do apologize. I am kind of learning how my cards work in this labbed version of the deck. I realized that Digivolution plugin S specifies that it has to be a Digimon that you Digivolve onto, not a Tamer. I realized that the hybrids allow you to treat Tamers as Digimon, but I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the ruling for it is it's not permitted. So that is a mistake on my part, which I will rectify in a future variant of this deck, which you'll probably see next weekend. Here you see me drop down the Mats. Mats is really good in this deck because it fetches any purple Digimon or option card. So this is basically my option rotation. Most of my option cards in this deck you'll see are purple. The Disruption, the Mills, everything is purple. So Mat is basically just instant fetch for everything. Also in this deck, the star player has to be that Burning Greymon you see me Digivolve onto there. The reason it's the star player is because it's a 6k that gives itself 3k on my turn. But if you Digivolve it onto Takuya, Takuya's effect is if your Digimon gives it 2k, and if the Digimon becomes over 10k, it gets security +1. So that Burning Greymon plus a Takuya for a Digivolution of 3 is instant security plus security 2 checks, which is beautiful aggression. You see me here just out aggroing Ian. He is playing a jank Mastermon deck, as I stated, so I don't know how effective this concept would be against a proper, quote-unquote proper Mastermon list, like running the Lucimons and actually I think he does run the Lucimons, but yeah, but running everything. You see me there just hatch the Yarmon immediately because I'm like, well, yeah, it's just Yarmons, so I'm just gonna hatch it already, and then drop the mat immediately. I don't mind dropping my mats early and losing out on the fetch effect because it's still a memory tamer as well, so it's good to set it up early. Here on Ian's turn, he seems to be choked for level 3, so he just TKs, and then he goes for a Gato, getting a search off and grabbing 2. And then I believe that passes back to me with 5. Ian made a big mistake because he's never seen me play this version of the deck before, giving me so much memory to work with because one of the biggest issues in this deck is memory. So he really kind of just like helped me out by just giving me a lot of memory by hard playing his Gatos, hard playing his level 5s, which you normally don't get to cheat out that often. So he goes for Gatomon, grabs a I believe that was an Anjouamon if I'm not mistaken, and passes it back to me here on 3. Again, misusing Digivolution plugin S. I do apologize. We do read the cards, but we do sometimes forget the nuances sometimes of some of these card effects, such as how Evolution plugin S only targets Digimon specifically. Thank you to a commenter on last week's video who also pointed out that you cannot Digivolve onto raising Digimon because it is affecting the Digimon you're Digivolving onto in a respect. So that is also an illegal play that the Sukurimon players have been informed of and will rectify in future gameplay. As will I with this Digivolution plugin S. I might just scrap it altogether and rather play maybe blue card to search the top 5 of my deck for any Digimon. That might be a cool tech option. Or just put in more cards like the jamming plugin or cap out the security plugin, because I believe I only play 3 security, 3 Digivolution. Oh, here hitting into the Schwartz, just wiping the board. That's why this card is so amazing. Here you just see me leave. I'm going to another table because they have a judge call. Sorry, momentary pause here. It does happen every now and then. It was a quick ruling if I'm not mistaken. They were asking about I think they were asking about order of operations. Like, do they have to specify what order they proc effects in, or can they just like go ham? Does anything miss timing, such as that? So here we come back. Ian, it is Ian's turn still after hitting into that Schwartz. So he's really only got 1 play left to make, unless he does have the Evo for the Uber. Doesn't look like it. So he's just going to go for a straight heal, going back up to 3. I'm going to draw for turn here. Once again, he's giving me so much memory. Here is an illegal activation of this card, going in Digimon into a Digimon, which is perfectly fine. It's kind of also the reason I want to keep the card, just because it can be used normally like that. I don't always use it on Tamers, but I thought, oh, this is great, I can use it on Tamers. Can't use it on Tamers. It is what it is. I don't like to hide things on this channel. Like, if we make mistakes, I'm going to post the video regardless, because it's part of the channel's identity, showing you guys how we're learning our way, how we're learning things piece by piece as we're going. For those that don't know, South Africa isn't supported by Bandai, so we order all these cards. Our shop helps us out. Our local game store helps us out by ordering some boosters for us. But we don't really have support or like any official judging here in South Africa, so we kind of just are learning things as we go along. So you're gonna have to forgive us if we do make misplays. Here you do see another tech option in this red-purple hybrid with the Impmon Digivolving onto the Yaomons. So the entire side deck is egg deck is just Yaomons. I arguably should have put in rather a mill card like the Nyamon instead or something. Because the Impmon is there literally just for its mill 3 effect on deletion. Oh, here we go. He goes into a Death X, wiping my board. Not that I really care too much, because at the end of the day, that's what I want. I want everything engraved so that I can just blitz out a Emperor Greymon. So here I think I'm just restacking my trash there just to figure out everything that's happening. Doing the Emperor. The Emperor doesn't have Blitz, but it's fine. It's still my turn, so I'm just going to hard swing there for 2 checks, hitting into the Mako Ordine and swinging with the Imp for game. Quite easily taking the first round. Of course, with a few illegal plays with the Digivolution plugin S, but they don't seem to have done too much. With Ian always kind of being a little bit behind just because he keeps hard playing everything. Here I'm just asking him what the heck is up with his deck, so he's just fanning it out for me, showing me all the like weird stuff that he's got in there. And here I'm just like showing him like the weirdness that I had brought to the tables today. But yeah, that was a pretty swift round 1, so let's get on to round 2. And yeah. So we do fix up the camera. things look a lot better. And here we are against Kanan. This is a really bad matchup because Crossheart is very aggressive, and this is still in testing, and it's not very aggressive, especially with the hard dropping of Tamers. So it is a bit rough. So here I'm going to go first, hatching the Yalmon and dropping a Yoli, so I have a cheap-ish Tamer on field. I don't have any 2-cost ties that I know most people play. I really should get some. Here Kanan is going to drop the Hikari, drop the Darula, tap it to draw, play a Taiki, get a search off. I think he added the Sparrow, if I'm not mistaken, and attached the Ballista. Here I'm just going to hard drop the Aguni because I don't feel like attaching it to the Yoli. I'd rather get some extra memory next turn. Oh, never mind. I'm going to get an extra bit of memory next turn. So here Digivolution plugin S also giving us that beautiful security effect and grabbing us a Burning Greymon. Not the one that gives us 3k, but the one that on Digivolve deletes a 4k or less, which I guess matters in Crossheart a bit because everything is 4k, under 4k, but they save, so it's not really too great, but it's good enough. So you're going to draw Hatch into the Impmon after Kanan did a few checks on his turn, but didn't really do anything too hectic. I'm going to pop the memory boost just to get a bit more going, and I think I'm reviewing here. Yeah, so I'm going to Digivolve, and I'm going to pop something. Just going to pop, yeah, there we go. Pop the Shartmon, because irrespective of what I pop, it's just going to get saved, doesn't matter. Here I'm going to give the Burning Greymon an extra security check and hopefully not die. Unfortunately, I do. It's the give and take of the card. It's a really good option because it gives just security +1 for really doing nothing, and it's a security bomb fetching you Tamers. But if you do survive, oh, does it feel so good. Especially when you hit an option that doesn't really do anything, or a Tamer. Cool, they got their Tamer, but you can still do another check now because you survived. Here it looks like we're going into, is this the cross 4? No, it looks like the cross 5 actually. Cross 5 for 2 because he didn't place the Starmon under. Does have rush because he does have that, oh, there we go. Because he does have the Shartmon. I got the plugin, I do a check, get nothing for Tamers because the red plugin does search Tamers. Second check, he hits into a Flywheel. I think here I was deciding hitting the cross 5, but I'm like, makes no sense. Rather just hit one of the attackers so I live another turn and see what I can do. So here on this turn, I'm going to get whatever he gives me, plus the Yoli, plus the Mist, which is 3 memory in total if he leaves the card on my board, which it does look like he's going to. And then the Impmon for the swing. I believe that cross 5 is a blocker, yes, because of the Ballistamon, so there's really not much I can do here. I can promote the Impmon and see what happens, swing with the Flamemon, see what happens, pop the Mist to get some extra memory, but not looking the greatest. I believe I scooped and just went to game 2 after attempting to make a play or 2 because, yeah, sitting here in the third party seat, it really doesn't look too great. So here I'm going to pop, go to 5. Still hope in my eyes, apparently, for this unwinnable situation, but hey. Digivolution plugin, we're gonna go into, let's see, probably the Greymon to burn. Oh, we go into the one that gives 9, that's 3k. So this is a 9k burning Greymon, not a 6k, because it's if it has a hybrid or a Tamer in its trait, it gets the 3k. So we've got a 9k body and a 1k that we hope dies so we can get some mills, but I don't have the next step. Oh, but we do have the security check. So this isn't going to be an 11k burning Greymon, but it is at the very least going to be a double check 9k. I'm going to pop check 2, and oh, I didn't remember that it was a blocker apparently at the tournament. So there I just give it to him because there's literally nothing I can do. It's easy swing next turn. Rather just go to game 2. Let's see what happens there because it makes no sense at the end of the day. I will be piloting I will let you guys know, I will be piloting a different version of this deck next weekend for next weekend's video. It's going to be a alternate version. It's going to be a blue-red hybrid deck. Mostly because I realized while playing this tournament that the aggression is really what makes this deck shine. And while the purple removal is cool, it's nice, it's awesome, the mill sets up the grave, I think I'm worrying too much about Takuya's effect and not playing the game. So I'm going to try a blue variant, not only just for that extra memory by taking in things like Hammer Spark, but also just so I can get a bit more aggression on the board with maybe things like Tommy. I think I'm also taking in the Garurumon that has jamming on Digivolve. Yeah. Okay, so Kanana elects to go first here. He Digivolves, draws Taikis and searches. And then just passes over to me with that. I'm going to go Digivolve into the Imp. I'm going to search with the Flame, grabbing a hybrid off the top. And I'm still ready. Go for the Mist Memory Boost. I just put up to 3 because he's going to 3 anyways with Taiki, and I mill 2. I look like I mill Takuya and a Burning. He swings, hits into an Emperor, deletes, and saves. And then he plays a Taiki for his turn, checks the top. And plays another, why not, just another Taiki. 2 Sparrows, adds 1, and then attaches the other. Oh no, he adds 1, and then he adds the Hikari instead to his hand. Passing it back to me, I'm going to go here, 2 into Flamemon, just drawing a bit more, then 1 into the Burning Greymon, because it does have that secondary effect. Whoops! Fumbling the cards here. Swinging in, surviving, hitting into a Ballista, Imp, thankfully dying, and trashing 3. I trap a Mist, a Aguni, and a Yonli. Pop my other Mist for a search, and then I check top 3. I don't know why I did this. Oh wait, I know, right. I keep making this mistake thinking Taiki is a memory tamer. He's not. So I did it for the choke. Okay, so here he's going to Crimson Ablaze, just deleting everything and making sure I can't play by effects. Not that this deck does that, but I guess it's a secondary effect that's kind of active. Here I'm just going to hard drop it a Goonie because I really have nothing else to do. He's just going to swing with Shout. I get a Mat so I can get the Mist Memory Boost back that I can use then on my turn. He's then going to play out the Darula and pass it along to me. Here I'm going to draw for the turn. I can go into a Burning, pop the Darula so that I got a free swing, nothing going on. Looks like I'm just going to go for the Security +1, hoping to live, and I do. I hit into the Memory and then hit into the Crimson, but not that I mind because the Crimson means nothing. So here I'm going to Schwartz, and I'm just going to delete 1 because, oh, I think I'm taking that back because I'm considering. Because Schwartz is only going to delete 1 because Matt is the only tamer on the field. There's no longer a hybrid. But it looks like I do eventually commit to it, deleting the Shoutmon, getting rid of the Pikmon inheritable. Not that the Pikmon stays when he crosses, but it is what it is. Swings with the Darula, hits into a Takuya, which is nice for my follow-up turn, because I believe I do have an Emperor in hand, not that he knows this. So I've got damage on turn, on my turn. Looks like he's just going to play another Hikari, tap it, play a Darula, tap both Hikaris to draw 2, Mass Memory, Reinforced Memory for another 3, Kudo Taiki just to grab 2. I think he's putting the cross 4 in hand, definitely, and, oh, yep, and then attaching the Darula. What? Did he not attach there? I think he added both to hand instead by accident. That's fine. Has the same result at the end of the day, because all he wanted really was the cross 4. Because now he's able to go with the cross 4 swing. That Darumon can't swing, thankfully. Hits into an Emperor and deletes himself, but it's fine. It would delete itself at the end of battle anyways. And then he's going to material save probably the Shout and the Ballista. Yeah, because he already has plenty of Darulas, and I think that's what I'm pointing to, because I'm like, he already has this and this, so he's gone through a lot of his Darulmons already, so it's not like as much. And then he just goes for the Emperor Shoutmon, just so you can recycle that cross 4. Arguably a mistake from my point of view, just because, well, he doesn't know what's in my hand. Because I'm like, if you had gone for a swing, you might have been closer to game. Like, it was a risk hoping I didn't have the right things in hand. Because at this point, he hadn't seen this deck. I don't play purple hybrids, but if I did play purple hybrids, this would have been like close to game. Actually, no, I'm on 3 memory, so wouldn't have been game. I think here I'm just reviewing to see the writing on the wall again. Yeah, Crossheart is a bad matchup for me just because I don't have the resources in this deck to deal with it. Yeah, here I'm just fanning out my hand, just showing him like I really have nothing I can play. I can go into the Burning, swing for checks, but that does nothing. Oh, and it's a Sunrise Buster. Yeah, it really wouldn't have mattered at the end of the day. So, oh right, and if I'm not mistaken, Sunrise also deletes Tamers. So yeah, really wasn't much, and I just have a Burning Gray in trash, not like I have a Schwartz which would wipe his board, so it was really not much I could do. Alright, next up here we have round 3. So there was an error here on my part again. There was a draw apparently in round 2, which actually moved me up the tables into actually being playing up into top cut. So I actually could have recorded myself, but it's fine. This gives you guys at least good more views of decks. So here on the left we have Anton piloting his Sakuya, and on the right you have Jordan piloting a new deck that he's testing out in the form of Bloom Lordmon. I still don't know if he's going to attach the Hydra stuff, but yeah. So here he's going to, and forgive me, I actually am unfamiliar with the Bloom Lord deck. I will be sure to familiarize myself when it becomes more prevalent, I guess, in our format. But he's just going to drop it. He dropped the Digimon and just did a search. Here on Anton's side, he's just going to Digivolve into QB, do a search there, and add something to hand. Jordan on the pass is just going to promote the Mushroomon, I think is what it's called. And he's just going to go for a swing, get deleted by a QB and security. And he's still got, I think he's on 1 memory. So, oh, Vegemon for 1. That's very good. Cheap evolutions, very nice. And he's got a Ken for the follow-up. Now he's got a memory tamer set, doesn't need to worry about getting choked. So that's good. On his side, can make better plays. Oof, never mind. Both sides are prepped as Anton drops down Rika and plays a Tau, activating the Digivolution plugin from hand via Tau's on Digivolve effect. Draws for the, I believe he drew for the effect. Now he Digivolves into Sakuya, draw for the Digivolve, Sakuya effect to add the plugin back to hand, and giving minus 3k, but it looks like it has more than enough DP to survive. So on the pass here, gains his DP back, and Jordan hatches. I'm very unfamiliar with this matchup, so I don't even know what Jordan plays in this situation. Like, what is the optimal plays in any sense? I can't even tell you what that card is, even if I had to pause the video, because the artwork is so dark, I can't actually tell. I'll be sure to ask Jordan about his deck list next weekend and try and find out what it is, just so that I can learn the cards and better commentate on this matchup. So Anton looks like he's going to take his turn here, just being set to 3 via the Rika. He hasn't evolved that Vixie in Raising in a while, so it makes me feel like, yep, it doesn't seem like he has the level 3 to play for the Vixie. Maybe he'll draw it now, hopefully. Go for the Digivolution plug-in, and then it looks like he's also going to minus DP from the Sakuya's effect, but not Digivolve, which is fine. You do not have to fulfill all the conditions of the card, so it looks like he just elected to draw the card, get the minus DP so he could clear board, and it looks like he swung into the other Digimon as well, just wiping board. I think Anton's just going here for a little bit of board control, because it does seem like he's down on cards. It bothers me that Viximon hasn't been Digivolved at all. It makes me feel like he's kind of choked on level 3s. Whoa, drops down 2 Tamers, drops down the Purple Mimi, and then the TK and Kori. Here, Jordan just promotes Digivolves into... Oh, I believe this one's Vegemon. The other one's... It's like a variant of Vegemon, but it's not called Vegemon. He swings. He unfortunately hits into a QB. DP just dies. Plays down the Palmon, does a search. I believe this is the one that searches for, like, a vegetation or... two different... it's 2 different typings, if I'm not mistaken. I know one's vegetation, and the other one... I don't know. It's not insect. It's something else. Well, I think it's plant, if I'm not mistaken, in their traits. Passing it back to Anton after that search, he does have quite a bit of memory now thanks to all of his tamers. He gets the 3 from the Rika, and then he gets the 2 from the TK and Kari. Looks like here he's going to just swing and use the jamming plugin, reducing DP. Oof, good thing he used that jamming plugin because he hits into a Bloom Lawnmon and survives the combat there. Looks like he's just going to hard drop the QB, unfortunately unable to then get the QBs on Digivolve effect to fetch a plugin. It's highly unfortunate, but he is going to play a green plugin to draw and hopefully Digivolve, yes, into a Talmon, which will allow him to drop another Rika onto board. Oof, double ult art. Anton flexing, nice. Here Jordan's going to hatch Digivolve into the EX01 Palmon. And then from here, I don't know what the play is. Does he just build a huge chain? Or, well, it looks like he's going for that. I must find out what the name of this one is. I know the red one is actually Vegemon. I can't actually remember what this one is. But it looks like he's just going for cheap play cost. Looks like he's using an option card to suspend both the suspend his Talmon and bottom deck the Sakuya. Wow, that is a good option card. Arguably a better Megadeth because it's green only, so you don't have to worry about dual colors, and it bottoms the Digimon instead of bouncing it, that's very good. Still keeps it in rotation, but because there's no searching, that effectively removes it because you'll never see that properly. So he's going to Digivolution, plug in, draw, Digivolve, draw for the Digivolve, and then he's going to fetch 3 plugins, 2 Digivolution, 1 jamming, swinging unsuspended because the Sakuya does unsuspend itself on Digivolution. Looks like here he's finally found a level 3 worth Digivolving into. He's going into the Salamon. I believe that is one of his filler level 3s, so it could have been something else, could have been a Renamon, but it is what it is. Looks like he's just going to drop another QBmon, really struggling with those level 3s in this game for some reason, Anton. Does he have a Talmon? No, but he can go try and dig for one, and it doesn't look like he found it. So he's still got 1 memory, 2 before he passes the turn, so I wonder what it is he'll go for here. Looks like he's just going to drop... Oh, he did have a Renamon. Huh, interesting. Fetches a plugin and, oof, bottoms some pretty good cards. Talmon, a Sakuya Maid Mode. Here, Jordan is going to promote and probably Evo. He's got what looks like 3 memory there, so it's not much. Oh, Samanti Santi is going to tap and then tap the Sakuya. Not sure what play this does. I can't remember. Does the Samanti Santi not allow him to unsuspend? That's possibly why he played that as well. He goes for a green memory boost, just goes for a search. Here, Anton seems to unsuspend. Ah, okay, so Samanti Santi does prevent the Sakuya from unsuspending. Alright, that makes sense then. Looks like Anton's going to promote here. 3 security on Jordan's side. So if Anton plays hybrids, this might be game. Because we're going to play both Rikas here. We're going to use just the 1 Digivolution plugin for now. And the blue plugin, the jamming plugin. He's not going to Evo again, but he is going to use the Sakuya effect to minus DP because he did play 2, so that's minus 3 on each, so that's minus 6. He looks like he survives the security check. And he's going to go now for the defensive plugin to give his Sakuya reboot and blocker just so it unsuspends on his turn. On Jordan's turn. Looks like he's just going to pass the turn straight, rebooting with the Sakuya, and Jordan's basically starting from scratch here again. That DP reduction on Sakuya coming in clutch when Anton's deck just doesn't seem to want to work with him. Jordan's got a bit of memory to work with here. He's got 3 from the Ken, and he does have access to 2 extra, which he's going to take advantage of. He didn't promote the Palmon, which might have been a mistake here, but we'll have to see. He's just going to drop the Shroomon for now and decide on what is the best play in his hand. So he's going to Digivolve for 1 into the Veggie for that optimal evolution cost. And from here, if he can't get a block on board, I don't see how he survives the following turn. Oh, he has another Samanti Santi. But there's still 3 on board, and we still are unsure if Anton plays hybrids, especially the Kaze. Because if he does, this is overkill already on board. So I don't know exactly if Jordan can clutch this out unless he gets a clutch option card. This is not going to end too well. Looks like we are going to Digivolution to go into the QB just to get rid of the Vegemon. Continuing the assault, we hit into a Palmon. That's not going to do it. Oh, and a green memory boost. Does not activate on play, but doesn't matter because the QB can clutch it out. So it's a rough game 1 for Jordan. That was a very long game 1 with Sakuya dominating the board state, just controlling with those DP reductions. Bloom Lord put up a good fight, but without seeing its boss monster a single time. Jordan's going to have to work real hard here in game 2 if he hopes to clutch out that win in game 3. Personally, from what I've seen so far, the optimal choice might just be to play from raising, possibly. Like, it might be a better option to just raise the level 5 once you've gotten to it, and then Bloom Lord Evo and go in for your plays. But the thing is, I'm very unfamiliar with the Bloom Lord Mon strategy. I'm aware that in Europe, it's if I'm not mistaken, it's a very good deck recently. But this is our first time seeing it here at AI Fest here in Johannesburg, so I'm not familiar with it. I haven't seen it enough to be able to kind of evaluate it and give my critique on what would be the best options for the deck. Sakuya, I've seen a dime a dozen. I have my own Sakuyamon deck. I've played it. It's fun. I understand how it functions, and I can see all the tech choices Anton's making, and I can respect them. But Jordan's deck, I have absolutely no idea about, and I'm kind of really experiencing it here secondhand. It doesn't help that I'm unable to tell what the cards are. Looks like, I actually think I do know what that. I think that might be Sunfloramon, if I'm not mistaken. I think that is Sunfloramon, and it looks like it has an effect to tap and then play a Digimon. Which is pretty good for swarming, but at the end of the day, if you're not playing something down that has a really good effect, like a search, like ultimately that would have been nice to be a Palmon for a search. But it looks like he's going to Digisorption here for free by tapping his extra card that he called out, and then just swinging in with Blossomon. Kind of risky because he might lose the card, but he does thankfully hit into a Renamon. Once again, I think the best play, especially with the Sakuya with all its DP reduction effects, might be to just stack up and swing with all your effects once you're built, but that's just from like a superficial look at the deck without actually really looking into how the deck functions. I really must ask Jordan like how the deck functions next weekend. Looks like he's just going to, he Digivolved into Sunfloramon over his other Digimon. Pass it over to Anton, who has just kind of like swung in here. Anton's really respecting the fact that Jordan is able to swarm and is opting for a very slow-paced, I'm just going to stop your Digimon for now, and then I'll deal with your security afterwards. Which is a very tempered strategy for Anton, who normally I picture as more of an aggressive player. So the fact that he's using Sakuyamon as the control version, because it is, for all intents and purposes, a mid-range deck. It can play control or it can play aggressive. It can do either or. But it's cool seeing Anton opted for the control version against a deck he's unfamiliar with as well. I feel it's very smart move because it does then mitigate the chances of something weird happening later down the line of like, haha, you weren't paying attention because you didn't know what this did. He's just like, I'm just going to deal with everything because I don't know what anything is. Here we're just going to go for a green memory boost, fetching a Digimon off the top and just stacking the rest at the bottom for now. I don't know where Jordan goes to from here. He's got a decent stack going there, so if he has the Bloom Lord, it's probably optimal. but it looks like he doesn't, or if I'm not mistaken, he has level 3, level 4, level 5. Wait, 3, 4, 5. That stack looks bigger than it's supposed to me, or is it just me? Or is that the 3, 4, 5, 5, 6? Oh wait, apologies, that's the Digitama. So there's 3, 4, 5. So that is a level 6 in and of itself. It might be his backup level 6. Again, unfamiliar. I can't really tell from the card art because it is very obscured. I can't see it really well from here. But Anton looks like he's just going to start getting a bit more aggressive with his plays. He's going in with the security plug-in, but let's see what he's going to do with that security plug-in. He got it for free off the Talmon Evolution, but... Alright, did we get the Evo? We do get the Evo. I was about to say, that security plug-in is good, but like it feels better on a level 6, not a level 5. So here he goes to the security, refetches that security plug-in. Oh, unfortunately hits the Bloom Lord. Pain. And he didn't have the jamming, so it just didn't work out for him in the end. It's fine though. Here we're just going to, I guess, continue the plays. We're going to drop down Renna. We're going to go for a search. We pick up a Sakuyamon and we drop the rest. I did see a Kazemon there, so he does run Kaze. He might have searched one previously. I just wasn't paying attention or was hidden under other cards. But now we do know for a fact he does play the Kaze. He does have the hybrid package for games, so Jordan does have to keep that in mind. Always look at what your opponent mills, because next minute they mill something and you now have to be aware that that might be multiple copies in a deck. So here it looks like we're just going to go Samanti Santi, checking that Talmon for now, because we do know the Sakuyamon is in play and is threatening for next turn. The Samanti Santi says they cannot unsuspend. Does that even include by effects, I wonder? Because Sakuya on Digivolve can unsuspend itself, so I wonder if that kind of mitigates the Samanti Santi. I guess we'll see on Anton's side. He has researched Sakuya thoroughly. Well, as thoroughly as most of us have. We did miss like a few things, obviously with the plug-in evolution cards. But he would know. Oh, doesn't matter. It looks like we're just going to bottom deck the Talmon anyways. Was the Samanti Santi then even worth it? Or, oh, I see. So he Samanti Santi targeted the Renamon that was already tapped. Right, because it's tap 1 and then one of your opponent's Digimon that is suspended will not unsuspend. So he selected the Renamon because he knew he was bottoming the Tau. Very nice. Looks like Anton here just went for the Evo of QB. I think, is he pitching? Yes, he is pitching here to draw 2. Then he's going into the Talmon. Does he have? He does have the Rika. Great. From here, where can we go? I do see a Reinforce in his hand. That is an option he could do. Looks like he's tapping the Mimi just so he doesn't go to 0. He stays at 1 just so he has more memory to work with. But what is he going to do from here? There aren't many options. Looks like he is just going to go for the Sakuya. Looks like it doesn't unsuspend by its effect. And although he's passing with a tapped Sakuya, I think he's pretty okay. Because the opponent's Jordan's Digimon is also an 11k over there, so if it would... Oh, looks like he can unsuspend under the Samanti Santi, but I guess it didn't matter at the end of the day because it did pass. Big, and I don't think Jordan would have swung his only level 6 into the Sakuya to trade. So I think at the end of the day, game state's pretty much same, but that is a ruling probably that should be looked up just in case. Actually, I'm unsure if that one would work out that way. It depends on how Samanti Santi is worded. We're just going to swing at security, hitting it to a QB, going and just hard playing a Veggie down, evolving that Veggie, hopefully, or hopefully actually playing an option card to deal with the Sakuya, because the Sakuya is going to go ham next turn with 2 Rikas on board. Looks like we're just going to tap the Veggie to Digizorb it into Blossomon. And then do we have... We have the Bloom Lord finally. In 2 games, the first Bloom Lord to actually hit Ward. Oof, rough. I don't know what Jordan's count of Bloom Lord is. I don't know if he has all his copies, but I don't know, it kind of feels like he's short, and this is a result of that, like not being able to see too many of his Digimon. Here it looks like we're going for a swing, we're tapping the Rika, getting the evolution plug in. Are we evoing? No, we are not. We're just applying the minus 6k to the Bloom Lord, as well as all the other negatives from the sources. We're going to evo into the QB off the plug-in, we're going to draw, and then we're going to search. We're going to fish the new black plug-in, and we're going to put everything else to the bottom of the deck. Sakuya. Oh, the Sakuya was swinging into the weakened Bloom Lord one. I understand. Now I understand. I thought he was just pointing because he was targeting it for the effect. No, he was physically swinging into that as well. Looks like we're going to go into the tower. Do we have another Rika? We do have another Rika to drop here. And can we swing and do like a cheeky... We can. And we can. Cool. So we're going to swing here and do a cheeky Evo on swing and give it and reboot and block out. Wow. So we're going to draw off the option and we're going to Evo into the maid mode. Is the maid mode going to play an option card here on swing, on Digivolve, or not? Looks like all the DP reductions go into effect, deleting Jordan's other level 6. And things are looking kind of bleak. Looks like we're not going to opt to do the maid mode, or we just don't have the plug-ins. Oh, we did. We had the jamming. There we go. Oof, Jordan doesn't have much to work with here. He's got an empty board starting from scratch. Anton is stacked and poised to do a lot of damage next turn. Jordan needs to set something up here, and he needs to set it up fast. If he can get all the way to a level 5 or even past the turn going to a 6, oof, can't. So he's just going to drop a tamer. I hope that's a memory tamer, at least give him some memory on his probable final turn. But here it looks like Anton's going to hatch, go into Salah, so he's just all gas, no brakes. Looks like he's organizing his hand there to go for this beautiful swing, because it's going to be one hell of a swing. Now, which one? Okay, he's going for the normal Sakuyamon first, tapping 2 Rikas, playing the jam and the security +1. So this is going to be 2 checks with jamming. Veggie, Samanti, Santi. Oh, yes. Okay, this might have bought Jordan an extra turn, but we'll have to see. Renamon being dropped here. This is the Renamon, I believe, that searches Digimon, so grabs a QB there, the new one that pitches and draws 2, or just searches. Probably going to Evo into that right now and grab the security plugin for next turn, because that's just game next turn if he takes it. Yep. Telegraphed. Really easy telegraph. Jordan promotes here, but can he do anything with just 3 memory? That's not a lot to work with. I know it's green and it plays for cheap, but there's already a bad start. Hard digivolving for 3, going all the way down to 0. Jordan just going for a Hail Mary swing, tapping to suspend. Anton getting his search and his add. Yeah, I think this is gonna be it. Okay, we're gonna Patamon search. Sorry, not Patamon. Palmon search. Grab the level 6, so we can Evo the level 6 to pass the turn. Looks like we're gonna unsuspend everything. Draw. Swing. Jamming. Secure. Oh, and the jamming. Oh no. Bloom Lord doesn't matter, jammed, and Miko mode for game. Unfortunate. Jordan put up a good fight. He did have the privilege of the option being unknown, but I mean the matchup being unknown, but is what it is. So here we go. This is going to be the final round. Here I am vying for, I believe, first place, because I am now playing. I'm playing up again, ironically enough, because those tiebreakers really mess up the system. Like, so this round is actually very weird. I personally feel I should not be here, but here we are anyways. So here I'm going first. I'm playing none other than Gerard, playing his blue flare that he is now bringing to the tables just to test out. Here we've just set up, he's gonna take the first shot with his Gaiamon, getting deleted but getting a search off of it, swinging with the Argu, hitting into the Boku, trading in the process, but I don't think he really minds. This matchup is really rough for my deck because of the stunning. I can't really do anything. The only time it really doesn't matter is when I have Tamers set up but no Digimon. Then it's fine because then the stun means nothing. But if all my Digimon with Tamers under them are out, I'm pretty much dead in the water. Looks like here I'm just contemplating a Takuya, but instead I go for the Boku to search. I believe this was a misplay, which I do explain to Gerard, where I'm like, oh right, that's why I wanted to play the Takuya down. The reason I wanted to play the Takuya down is because I have Schwartz in hand. So had I dropped the Takuya, then played Schwartz instead of the Boku, I would have cleared his board. But I made the mistake, I got greedy, I saw the Boku effect, and I'm like, ooh, Boku, search 5, add 2? Let's go, that sounds great. No, it wasn't. So it looks like I'm just going to drop the mat, add a option back to hand, and now set myself up with a memory tamer for future turns. I think Gerard now knows that I have the Schwartz in hand, but it doesn't really do much for him, because this matchup is very interesting. I'm bad because the stun is hard, but he's also in a bad spot because none of his Digimon really go past level 5. Metal Greymon is a level 5 and they just Digicross into their level 5s. They don't normally go to level 6s, kind of like how Crossheart does, just less effective because Crossheart spams his board, whereas Blue Flare has its Digimon but then just controls with effects. So it doesn't swarm like Crossheart does, hence why the board state is always a little bit, well, not a little bit, substantially less than Crossheart. Looks like he's just going to go for a Kiriha, setting up his memory tamer, so choking is now no longer an option on either of our sides. Here I'm just going to Digivolve into the Burning Greymon hard for 3. I believe the Decamon isn't under 4k, I believe it's 5k, it just misses the effect of burning. Or I am higher than it and it should have been deleted on Digivolution. That might have been a misplay on my part there. Looks like I'm just going to drop a Takuya down and just pass the turn over. Just because he already has the Kiriha, I'm like, nah, give you 3. Promotes the Argu, swings into my last security, hits into the Emperor Grey, unfortunately, and gets deleted. Now, I'm at an interesting spot here. If he doesn't deal anything to my board, he's got 5 security. I've probably got a hybrid in hand for the Takuya, if not the Emperor. So I could Emperor Blitz for 2, Burning Greymon for 1, Boku for 1, and then be in a pretty good spot, and then possibly even just board wipe to protect myself. So here he's going to Digicross into the Metal Greymon, but I don't know what this does. Too much adds the adds the standard Greymon underneath and targets my card for an effect. Oh damn, what was this effect again? Oh, the stun effect, right. So now Burning Greymon is stunned. Looks like here I'm just going to go into the Burning with Takuya. Boku at least reducing that by 2 because it was onto a Tamer, letting me do the security plugin, now making this Burning Greymon go for 3 checks. So this thing will blast through 3, the Boku will blast through 1, but because the burning is kind of stopped, I don't think I can go for that that final security there. The Boku does die, but I kind of expected it to. I didn't expect it to survive, which is perfectly fine. Here my only option is to remove the Metal Grey, because without the Metal Grey, I live. Metal Grey had Armor Purge. I did not know this. This was a shock to me in-game. I didn't realize it did. I thought all Digicrosses worked the same, but no, apparently Metal Grey had a bit of extra flavor to him in the form of Armor Purge. So Had he not had Armor Purge, that was the correct play, but of course, reading cards explains cards, and knowing your opponent's cards helps you win. So I just tried to pop blindly. He just purged to protect, and is what it is. So here we're going to go on to game 2. Somehow I don't feel this is going to go really any different because he's aggressive, but I'm aggressive, he's aggressive, but Gerard is more aggressive. So I don't think I can outpace, and then also it has that control. I think there I'm just flashing hand because I think a pretty decent hand going into game 2. But yeah. So he's going to hatch Digivolve, go into the male Bertramon, play the Kiriha off the male Bertramon on play. I'm going to hatch, go into the Imp immediately. And looks like I'm contemplating a Tamer play there. I do have 5 memory, so I have plenty of memory to play with. No, it looks like I go for the Boku. Oh, and kind of with the search. I get 1 hybrid, but that's a lot of good cards going to the bottom. Looks like I'm just going to drop the Mad, set up my memory Tamer for follow-up turns, and pass it back. Kara is just going to go... whiffing on a plug-in card when you know you play a lot of Tamers is rough. Whiffing on 2 is even worse. Oh, wow. That is just pure unbridled pain. I don't even have a red Digimon down yet, or even a red Tamer down yet to Digivolve to even make use of those plug-in cards, so it's a little bit rough here on this side of the field. Getting the Gaiamon, getting a Greymon off the Metal Greymon, passing it back. I'm just promoting, and I think the only option really is to swing and see what happens. Like, there's really nothing else I can kind of do. I could swing Hail Mary and then drop some Tamers for follow-up turns, but already down to 3 security. He's got 3 Mons on field. Oh, it looks like I just crashed with the Gaio, just so the Gaios, just so I can mill and remove a body. And yep, drop the Takuya because it's really like the only play. Drop some Tamers and hope nothing happens. Oh, but it looks like I had a Schwartz in hand, deleting 2 of his Digimon, which he does just save under the Kiriha, understandable, leaving the Greymon on field because it wasn't targeted. He's going to hatch, Digivolve into the Gaiosmon, swing and get Fly Bulleted. A little bit of thinking here on Hara's side, as I guess he's deciding to go into, goes into the Metal Grey. The other thing about Cross Blue Flare I didn't realize as opposed to Cross Hard is that they have to they pay more for their cards than Cross Hard does, which is really painful. Like, I feel like all the Cross Hards should have kind of functioned the same. So, oh well. So he swung into security, hit into a low level hybrid. Understandable. Most of the deck is low level hybrids aside from Emperor Greymon, so there really shouldn't be much threatening. I have the Boku. It's not going to do much. The best I can do next turn is Digivolve the Takuya for cheap. Play the security +1. If I have, this is all provided I have the Burning Gray in hand. Because if he has the if I have the Burning Gray, that gives itself 3k. It becomes an 11k, giving me 1 security. The security gives me 2. That's 3 of his security plus Boku. That's 4. And then, but then he just promotes and he wins. Here he's going for a Flare Memory boost and just like fetching anything he wants. And yeah, with the logo on screen, I think you guys can tell. I promote, I'm doing my thing, but yeah, it's just not gonna work out. This is 4 checks, but Hammer Spark does it. Yeah, oh well, it do be like that though. You win some, you lose some. I believe I came 3rd at the end of this, so not too bad. But yes, those misplays in the beginning are important and they will be rectified in future matches. Specifically next weekend when I play an alternate version of the deck, I will be more weary of the Digivolution plugins. I don't think I'm going to take them out just because they are really good for when you do have a hybrid on board or you have a Flamemon on board. So I will be keeping them in for that. But with that, guys, it is going to be the end of the video. Apologies for the long videos lately. I will be looking into a possible double cut of my videos. I might be breaking them up into two-parters, especially considering it seems we're getting our locals seem to be sitting at quite a long 3 to 4 rounds each lately. So I might be cutting first half for Fridays, second halves for Saturdays, and deck profiles for Sundays. On the note of deck profiles, I did not get Kanan, who did win with Crossheart in the end. I did not get his deck profile, so instead, tomorrow I will be doing a live stream where I'll be talking about my hybrid list and just going over like tick choices, what I did, and kind of like things I'm thinking of changing and how I'm going to be editing the deck, as well as a announcement of a possible large video that I will be releasing later in December post our final locals. But with all of that, guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.